and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how to make these adorable scrunchies. So I have different colored ones. You can also make these with any colors you want. These are also perfect for if you just have like leftover yarn from projects. You can do like a Franken yarn situation. And yeah, these are super cute for summer, and so let's get into the tutorial. The supplies you're going to need is the yarn. This is a 4-weight yarn. You will need a crochet hook. I like to use a 5mm crochet hook for this yarn. I do like to use Clover's hooks. I currently cannot find my hook. It's somewhere probably shoved in a ball of yarn, but Boy is another brand that I do like. You will need hair ties. This is the Goody Ouchless hair tie. As you can see, I've been using these. I don't like to use the thinner ones because I find that they're more prone to breaking, at least based on previous scrunchies I've made. So, and that's all you're gonna need. So let us get on to the tutorial. So the stitches you will need for this tutorial is to know how to do double crochets and how to increase, and also how to do slip stitches and how to do basic knots. I will have a written version of this down in the description because sometimes I don't feel like watching a whole tutorial. Trust me, I get it. So what I like to do is where there is the glue is where I like to make my initial knot. So I'll just kind of take some, I don't know, this might be like 4 or 5 inches, and I'll just tie it in place. And I will double knot this just so it's kind of stuck there and doesn't move. You could also probably triple knot it if you feel like it, but I always find that double knots are good enough. And this is not near that elastic glue. Elastic adhesive. Okay, so now that is in place, then I am going to do, I don't know what this is called, but it's kind of like a chain where I am just taking my hook, going in from behind, and then grabbing it. So then I have that little loop, and then I'm just kind of pulling through. So I guess that's kind of like a chain. And then I'm just going to chain 2 after that. And then for the first row, I am going to do a bunch of double crochets. I always find that I'm a tight crocheter. So yeah, so you're just gonna grab your yarn, go down, grab from behind, and then pull through 2 of the loops, and then you'll have 2 loops on your hook, and then pull through these 2. And you're just gonna keep doing that, and as you make your way around, you're just gonna keep kind of sliding it, and you'll see that you get like a little ruffle texture, which you'll see when I get to that point. If you guys need a visualization, if you guys know how to do the magic ring, it'll feel somewhat similar to that. Actually, this might be a good way to start doing magic rings where you don't have to worry about the yarn coming loose. You kind of already have your circle. Definitely really good practice for that. But anyways, I will come back when I have more double crochets completed. If you find that your yarn is, or your row is just kind of going inwards, just kind of keep it on the outside. You don't want it to keep trying to go inside. I mean, it doesn't matter for this initial part, but see, when you kind of start scrunching it together, you start getting that little ruffle, and it kind of keeps it in place. So as you see, I just keep crocheting and then moving it aside. I'm just gonna keep doing that and filling up as many double crochets as I can in this row. Honestly, you could probably stop after this row if you wanted to, if you didn't want to have like a big full scrunchie. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there, but just look how wavy that is. You are going to go back into your first stitch, which you could probably use a stitch marker if you want to. I'm not. And I'm just going to slip stitch that, then chain 2, and then go into that first stitch right there. At least that's what I'm doing. And some people count the first chain as a stitch, others don't. In this case, it doesn't really matter, so I'm just gonna not count it, but in the first stitch I am going to crochet 2. So this is where you're going to need to know how to do the increases. In the first stitch you're going to do 2. Then in the next stitch you're going to do 2 increases. And then on the third stitch you're going to do 3. That's 1. And that stitch is 2. And the final one is 3. And you're going to repeat that. So among 3 stitches, you will have a total of 7. And you're going to keep repeating that until you get to the end. And yeah, so just keep doing that. So after the after the stitch that had 3, you are going to do 2 again. That's 1, 2. Okay, so that's 2. The next one is going to be 3 and 4. And then in that third stitch will be 5, 6, and 7. So keep repeating that, and I will see you guys back when I get close to finishing. So as you can see, it's like super wavy. Gosh, I am obsessed. And of course this is not going to be perfect because I only have 2 stitches left technically. So you can either decide to do like 2, 2. I think I might do 2, 3 just so I don't have like an awkward gap here. It doesn't really matter. 1, 2, then 3. Okay, so from here I am going to cut off. You just want to have like a good tail piece. So I'm just going to cut that off. Then I am going to go back through that first stitch and do a slip stitch. Okay, and just pull that tight. Normally people would weave this in. I just want to have a bit more security. I also don't know where my needle, my darning needle is. So in this case I'm just going to show you what my process is for tying this off, literally. So I will weave this top piece to where it meets this bottom piece. And I'm just going to kind of weave it in and out with my crochet hook. And kind of try to blend it in. It gets a little weird when you have like the different colors. Like how... This is bad. Bad example. For an example, like up here you have the yellow going down to the blue. And you can kind of see that knot. But if you tie it and kind of shove it in there, people aren't really going to notice. See, you can see that little piece of yellow right there, but it's fine. So when you finally have the 2 tail pieces together, this is where you want to make sure you have enough, is you're just going to tie it off. I used to do it where I tied it twice, and you want to secure tightly. This might cinch in a little bit, but again, that's fine. So I would usually tie it twice. Lately I've just been triple knotting it just to have like that extra security. Again, you could probably be just fine with that. And that is it. I'm gonna cut it off, but if you guys are, if you're one that likes to weave it in, go for it. Again, I don't care that much to do it because I'm trying to get these, you know, done quickly. And then I'm just gonna kind of try to tie or cut as close as I can. And there's that little knot, but if you kind of like shove it in there a bit, you can't really tell with this one, but I mean, you can't see it unless you're looking for it. And that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys make a ton of these. These are absolutely cute, and I've made too many of these. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do with them at this point. These take no more than like 20-30 minutes. Please stay tuned for future crochet tutorials. I have some other summer crochet tutorials in the works, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios!